Fresh bread is a wonderful thing you can make with just 3 ingredients: flour, water and yeast, and salt. 4 ingredients: flour, water, yeast and salt, and sugar. 5 ingredients. I'll come in again. Fresh bread is a wonderful thing you can make with just 5 ingredients: flour, water, yeast, salt and sugar.
Yeast in some form is essential if you want your bread to rise. Here, dried yeast is activated by stirring it into tepid water. Leave it for a few minutes and it turns into something that looks unpleasant, but those bubbles are made by living yeast. Next, mix together the dry ingredients: flour, sugar for the yeast to feed on, and salt for flavour and to slow the yeast down. Mix these together well, then add the activated yeast. Make a well in the dry ingredients and pour in some of the yeast mixture. Start bringing it all together to make a dough, adding more of the yeast mixture as necessary. Be warned, this is where you get messy. Flour a surface and tip out your dough, then get kneading. Kneading causes the proteins in the dough to expand and form strands of gluten, which give the bread its texture. This can be a very therapeutic process. You can work out a lot of anger. After kneading for about 10 minutes, put the dough in a bowl to prove. You're proving that the yeast is alive. Carbon dioxide given off by the yeast feeding makes the dough rise. After an hour, knock the dough back by kneading for a couple more minutes. Shape the bread into a rustic loaf like this one and let it prove again for another hour. Bake in a preheated oven at 180 degrees C, which is gas marked for half an hour. To check that the bread is done, tap the bottom. It should sound hollow. And that's how you make bread.